Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I too would like to contribute to the Ministerial report on safer schools, stronger classrooms. Our teachers and school staff are doing an amazing job. They're working so hard in their schools and in their communities, and we all know that school attendance is the key to getting the NT back on track. If kids aren't at school every day, they don't have the same opportunity as kids that do go to school every day. Students who disengage from school are far more likely to come into contact with the justice system or experience long-term unemployment. Returning them to classrooms interrupts this disengagement cycle and helps to reduce youth crime rates. Most people inside and outside of this chamber know that I have a strong connection and a long history with the education system here in the Northern Territory. I am passionate about school attendance, and I worked in the attendance and engagement area across urban, regional and remote schools for a very long time. Last week, I spoke here in the chamber about school attendance and how, because of the work that I've done, I have a strong understanding of the reasons that students disengage and why they don't attend school. When I stated this, there were comments from those opposing stating, "No, I don't." Now, for some reason, Mr Deputy Speaker, those opposite think that they have the right to claim the moral superiority on understanding the barriers to school attendance for kids here in the Northern Territory, which is very interesting, as their record and inability to get kids to school tells a very different story. Rather than addressing the root causes effectively, Labor allowed attendance rates to collapse. They hid the problems by obscuring official data and resorted to bureaucratic manipulation instead of real solutions. They maintained an underfunded attendance-based funding model that particularly disadvantaged remote Aboriginal communities, leading to deteriorating school conditions, plummeting attendance and worsening literacy and numeracy standards. Whilst Labor talked about empathy and barriers, they failed to hold parents accountable or enforce the legal obligation to ensure children attended school, resulting in ongoing disengagement and, some would argue, higher youth crime rates. Labor's claims of understanding were, to say the least, hollow. In contrast, Mr Deputy Speaker, our government has implemented a balance of understanding with ensuring personal accountability. Our attendance officers, Aboriginal liaison officers and school-based police work with students and families to assist in working to remove barriers to non-attendance, and where there's no justifiable excuse, they will move to compliance actions through the potential of issuing infringement notices and the ability to refer to income management for negligent parents. This work demonstrates a holistic commitment to both support and compliance that Labor neglected. Under Labor, attendance declined and vital services to schools were cut. It's pretty simple, Mr Deputy Speaker. Students who attend school regularly consistently achieve better education and social outcomes. That's also why we're getting back to basics and focusing on explicit learning, explicit teaching, so that all students get the required literacy and numeracy education they need. Student engagement must be approached strategically and collaboratively to address the root causes of disengagement, while also affirming parents' non-negotiable legal responsibility to ensure school attendance. A compassionate approach alone is not enough. While schools and community must offer safe, supportive pathways back into learning, parents and carers have a statutory duty under NT law to make sure that their children attend school. Section 42 of the Education Act clearly states that a parent who has daily care and control of a student must ensure that that student attends school each day, or each part of a school day on which instruction is provided for the student. The definition of a parent, Mr Deputy Speaker, is someone that has parental responsibility for a child, and this includes, but it's not limited to, a biological parent, a foster parent, an auntie, an uncle or a grandparent. There are many options that provide students with alternative schooling participation agreements. And that's great. It's actually amazing because there's lots of options available now today than probably when we went to school. The majority of us went to school. My son is currently participating in an alternative option, which is amazing because he was no good in the classroom all day. It wasn't good for him and it wasn't good for the teacher or the other students. Mr Deputy Speaker, school attendance in an approved option is not optional. We understand that engagement strategies must balance encouragement and accountability, and the school staff and support staff, like the attendance officers, are doing an amazing job to support families to overcome barriers. But we wouldn't be doing our job if we weren't enforcing the legal requirement that every child must go to school. The member for 𝒂𝒔𝒔 made a statement in his speech just now saying that the government needs to do something that works. Well, newsflash, member for 𝒂𝒔𝒔, we're not finished, but unlike the previous Labor government, we are reducing crime. The stats say it. And we are improving school attendance. The stats say it. Let's talk about those stats for a second. So in the Arnhem electorate, the leader of the opposition, 13 schools have improved attendance from 2024 to 2025, with many of those schools also increasing their enrolment. In the Arafura electorate, there's 3 schools that have improved their attendance. In the Daly electorate, there's 3 schools that have improved their attendance. In the 𝒂𝒔𝒔 electorate, there's 6 schools that have improved their attendance and a lot of improved enrolment as well. In the Mulcra electorate, there's 5 schools that have improved their attendance. In the amazing electorate of the Berkeley, there's 9 schools that have improved attendance. In the Katherine electorate, there's 4. And in my amazing electorate of Fannie Bay, there's 3 schools, including Darwin High School, Ludmilla Primary School and Pratt Primary School, that have all improved attendance over the last year. Pretty good stats, I'd say. The member for 𝒂𝒔𝒔 thinks that by raising his voice and bringing his crocodile tears into this chamber, more people are going to start to finally listen to him. But again, newsflash, member for 𝒂𝒔𝒔, people are done listening to the former Labor government and the hypocrisy of your speeches. Mr Deputy Speaker, under the former Labor government, the number and accessibility of school counsellors declined markedly, and many roles were moved out of schools and into the corporate arm of the Department of Education. By May 2023, there were only 3 school counsellors serving more than 10,000 students across the Darwin schools, forcing those counsellors to travel between multiple campuses, reducing student access. There is no argument that this led to poorer wellbeing outcomes. Counsellors became largely office-based, and it limited their ability to provide consistent relationship-based support to students and staff. It was clear that this restructuring prioritised departmental management over student needs. But what did Labor do, Mr Deputy Speaker? They stuck to their guns because they were too proud to admit that what they had implemented did not work. Our government has reversed this policy, and counsellors are being placed back into schools, supported by a $1.9 million expansion of the counselling services in the 2025-26 budget. This shift also fulfils an election commitment to rebuild frontline services and reconnect education support staff with communities. Mr Deputy Speaker, as I've said, I am passionate about supporting schools, their staff and the students, and also the work that goes on behind the scenes in the department. In my maiden speech right here in this chamber, I talked about supporting schools, accessing more teachers and reducing red tape, so our frontline workers could get on with the job that they were hired to do. In relation to this, Mr Deputy Speaker, I am proud of the initiatives that we are introducing to get more teachers into the Territory. Teachers and school staff inside and outside of the Territory can access our homeowner grants to ensure that they put down roots here. And the Minister for Education and Training and the member for Drysdale touched on some of our new incentives to get people here and to be working in schools. Mr Deputy Speaker, our comprehensive approach prioritises not only physical safety, but also emotional wellbeing, recognising that positive school climates are foundational to improved engagement and academic outcomes. By investing in targeted wellbeing supports, evidence-based teaching and stronger community partnerships, this government is ensuring that schools are places where both students and staff can thrive. Those measures reflect a clear strategy to rebuild the Northern Territory's education system, making classrooms safer, boosting attendance and performance, and ultimately securing brighter futures for all children and young people across the Territory. This ministerial statement reinforces that education is central to social and economic recovery, community safety, and restoring the quality of life Territorians value. Thank you.